Hi, girlfriends. Hi, guy friends. This is my creative hat or headband that I'm wearing today. We're going to do a design that's already been done, but we're going to add our own perspective to it and make it fun and original. There's no new designs out there because there's so many great creatives out there. But what is new is your perspective on these designs that make it original, make it your own. And I mean, for blue jeans, for example, how long have blue jeans been out? But there are still designers coming out with their own cuts to their blue jeans, their own designs that make it great. Um, we're going to do the same with fascinators today. And you've probably seen this design if you're familiar with fascinators and mini hats. So basically, it's the round placemat, right? This comes straw woven or um, plastic. You can get these for quantities of 4, quantities of 6, for usually under $20, $20 or less at any of your favorite outlets. And we just bunched it together, one simple pinch to the round placemat. I put some pins here to hold it. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some rhinestone sticky tape. This is about 3 yards of a fourth of an inch, right? So this is an inch here from the tip of my finger to the first line in my finger. So you can see how skinny it is in comparison, because even in width, I'm sorry, my finger is about, I would say, a little bit less than an inch, but this is about a fourth of an inch, okay? So I'm just going to take off the backing of this sticky tape. And you don't have to undo it all. I would say just undo the tape as you go. And you see there's creases in this woven placemat. I'm just gonna put this fourth of an inch rhinestone tape on that bottom crease there and just follow it around. I will say this rhinestone sticky tape that we're using as trim is super sticky. So you might be saying, well, add some glue to that. Make sure it doesn't move. I'm telling you, it's super sticky. But where I will add glue is at the end, once I've taken it all the way around, is at the starter and end point. I'll add some reinforcement glue just to make sure the starting and end point don't lift up. You can get these rhinestone sticky tapes at any of your arts and crafts stores. Um, this has, I believe, three rows of gems, and you can see it has a design, right? It's an animal design. This could be either a leopard design or a snake design. But it's definitely dimensional color, which I like, which I think is going to make this hat, this fascinator, even more interesting. So I'm just making sure, because this has curves, that I am following it well. And I'm just making sure that it doesn't go outside the line either or too far in. And you want to pinch your hat together before doing this, because you don't want your trim to buckle as you do your pinning. And the more I think about it, I don't know. I might just get a nice hairpin to keep this together. What do you guys think? Would you do a hairpin in this fascinator to hold the gathering together, or would you sew it? If I sew it, I need to make sure I have a very thick needle to get through it, because I'm almost sure I have one. Okay, so yeah, we're just going on around here. And I'm always worried I'm always worried that I will run out of anything I work with. I'm like, oh God, please let this be enough. But I do have more. It's not this material. It's another material. I should say another pattern of rhinestone. It's all gold. We'll worry about that if we need to. But for now, I think we're gonna have enough. Probably just enough. You know, when you get 3 yards, you be thinking in your head, oh, 3 yards, that's plenty. And then when it comes, you're like, this is less than I thought. What did you guys do today? Did y'all do anything fun? I take this on a Sunday. What do you guys like to do on a Sunday? You know, I usually like to cook on a Sunday, like cook for the week if I can. It's really relaxing, but I actually went to a winery. I took my dog with me, and it was really fun. They had live music. They allow you to bring like your own, you know, your own blankets or your own umbrella and lawn chairs and sit out on the vineyard. It was really nice. It was a nice Sunday thing to do, to relax. All right, guys, we're doing good. We're gonna have enough. We're gonna have a little extra left over. As you see, I'm dividing my tape as I go, because I won't need all of it. I want to make sure that the rest of the rhinestones are protected, that tackiness is protected for future use. And you know, at this winery they had a food truck, and they had a ice cream truck, and they had pup cups, you know, not the ice cream, but they'll put whipped cream in a cup for your dog. My dog was like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're here. Oh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's what it's about, right? Life is about doing the things you enjoy, the things that relax you. I know this relaxes me, doing fascinators. Anything arts and crafts relaxes me, because it just allows you to focus on something else other than the things that may stress you or bring you anxiety. You know, it allows you to create a balance to your life. And that's why I think I enjoy arts and crafts. It helps me bring balance. Yeah. Look at this so far, how it's coming, guys. Not too bad, and we're almost to the end. Just following that around. Yep. Almost. Look at that. Look at that. We made it. Now for my scissors. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this is right where it needs to be. If you need to come overlap, you can, just so you can see. Okay, so that's overlapped. Now I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter. I'll show you the overlap. See the overlap here? I want to get it just right. So okay, I think that's just right. Just that tiny bit. Okay. I'll tell you a funny story about me at the winery. So I'm sitting on this blanket and a gentleman comes up. He's like, "Hi, my name is," I forget his name. I probably shouldn't repeat it anyway. But he comes up and he says, "Hi." Let's say his name was Julius. I know it wasn't Julius. Okay. And he was like, "Hi, I'm friends with the band," and and I thought that when he said I'm friends with the band, I was like, "Oh, do you play? Are you up next?" Because they had a live band playing. "Oh, no, no, no. I just know those guys." Guys, it was a pickup line. I'm friends with the band. I think he wanted me to be impressed. You know what? Only say you're friends of the band if you play an instrument. Because I was like, huh? Why is he telling me this and he doesn't even play? I didn't understand. Okay, what I'm doing, remember I mentioned earlier I was going to reinforce the beginning and end point. So this is the beginning point. This is the end point. So I am going to glue that down because I don't want that to come up. I'll even take it back a little bit further. You know what? My gun wasn't even on. So we'll come back to that. Gotta let that glue gun warm up. Yeah, okay. But guess what, guys? We have some coasters to go with this that we're gonna cover. Let me go get them. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back with our coasters, our same woven material coasters, because we can maybe add some sort of designs to this. I don't know. We should probably situate it and decide how we'll design it, right? Because I'm thinking if we add a design to this, yeah, I wouldn't maneuver it and bend it too much. I'm just trying to figure out how I would put it on here. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna put it on one side, but I'm gonna put it on the side that the outside of the bend. It naturally bends. I'm gonna put it on this side so that I can manipulate it easier. Okay. So glad we have extra. So let's get to rolling. Let's put this away. Okay. So we're pretty much going to do the same thing. By the time I'm done putting on, and we're still going to do the edge, the bottom crease there. By the time I'm done with both of these, my glue gun would have been hot, so we'll do the edges on all three. The coasters and the coaster, the two coasters and the one placemat. But we're gonna have to stop calling that once the hat is formed. It's no longer a placemat or a coaster, you know? So we won't call it that once it becomes our fascinator. They'd be like, oh, I like your hat. Oh, you mean my placemat? No. But this is great. And it, you know, in the Fascinator mini hat and the millinery world, hat bases are very common. You know, the cineme and the wool felt hats serve as a base, and the woven placemats are no different. This is just like a hat base. Look at there. Again, I'm going to overlap when I cut because I don't want it to be too less. I'd rather it be over, and then I cut as need be. So we'll cut a little bit over. Okay, so you can see I cut over a little bit. Now I can go in and refine that. Okay. Okay. Make sure you cut a straight line with this baby. Come on, honey. Okay. Okay, we did it. Perfect fit. So I'm gonna lift it up a little bit so I can find it to add some adhesive. We're gonna do the other. Again, we're gonna do it on the side that is bent down. Look at this. We have, I love it. This 3 yards is plenty. We have enough to complete this creation. I'm so happy. I actually had 3 of these coasters, but I think 1 or 2 will be enough. Less will be more. Again, following our last crease in this woven coaster. I'm sure these are made by machine now, but I tell you, hats off to the ladies who used to or may still do this by hand in the indigenous areas. I always felt straw work was just such a fine craft, you know, such a great skill to have. I feel like it's no different than knitting or crocheting, you know. In fact, it almost looks, right, knitted. Okay, so there we go. We have our trim. I feel like it's enough. And you know what this sticky tape is? Even though it's very tight, it's movable. If you feel like it's too far down, you can kind of push it up a little bit. Look at that, guys. We still have some left over. Oh my God, I get excited when I have something left over. I'm like, yes. Wow. It's pretty cool. I'd probably put this on a skinny headband. In fact, I do have skinny headbands with this on it. And you simply, in fact, let me get it for you to show you how I've used this in the past. Give me 2 seconds while you take a look at this, okay? Okay, I hope it was worth the wait. Here we go. You see this headband? It's the same material. So this is a skinny satin headband, and you just take your 1/4 of an inch rhinestone material and you literally just follow it along the headband. Makes for a great skinny, sparkly, blingy headband. So I really love using this rhinestone tape. Okay, so self-adhesive rhinestones is what it's called, the proper name for it. All right, so let's cut this, make sure it fits. Oh, come on. Okay. Really? It still overlaps? Let me see you. Let me see you. Yeah, it does. Okay. Got a little bit more to cut here. Just so, but it looks really tiny. Okay. Maybe just 1 row of rhinestone. It looks like. Please be enough. Okay. Yeah. I think that will do it. It's a little adhesive. I'm sorry if I was out of lens. I have to always check myself with these cameras. You get so into your work. It's hard being the actor and the director. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that fits. So I'll just add some adhesive to reinforce that to make sure it doesn't buckle. So now that our glue gun is nice and hot, and look, I need actual glue. Well, I have some right here. Okay. So let's add this. Okay. All right, we're ready for action here. So let's do this first. Now I'm gonna put it on the actual rhinestone backing. And be light with it. You don't really want to have to clean up too much. Now I'm gonna do the other side. And make sure I get the tips, because that's what you don't want to buckle. Make sure it closes, seals up. Remove any excess adhesive. If you need to use a tweezer to kind of get that out, that's what I recommend. You don't want to pull a rhinestone out. And then just hold it and press it for about 30 seconds. Make sure it stays down. Okay. I don't think we're gonna have any problems there. Yeah, I'm gonna go in later once I clean up this hat and just, use a tweezer and tweeze, you know, pick up any adhesive. There we go. Now for our coasters, doing one side, yeah. Remove any glue right away. Good part is this isn't porous material, so it's really easy to pick up the adhesive. Because instead of it melting into the material, and almost the adhesive just sits right on top when it dries, unless it's underneath your rhinestones, of course. Okay. Now we're adding the adhesive. Make sure we get those tips. Now we're gonna press it down. Okay, come on, baby. Yeah. Okay. I think we got it. I think we got all three. Yay. Now I'm gonna fix it to my, I do want to say that when you are fitting the hat on a mannequin head, I would stay away from the styrofoam mannequin heads because they're about the size of a 9-year-old. It's fine to fit your already made hats on these, or you know, your units on these, scarves, you know, whatever you like, baseball caps. But when making a hat, I recommend getting either a hat block or a mannequin head that has the same dimensions as an adult head if you're making this to gift to, you know, making this to gift or to sell to, you know, adults. Of course, you can use your own head if you're doing this for yourself, making it for yourself. So what we did here was we put the self-adhesive rhinestones on the coaster, and I put feathers inside, my gold tip feathers inside my coaster. So I basically used my glue gun. I put adhesive on the front of the feather, not coming all the way to the top, but either staying, you know, a fourth down or half up. Once that was on, I just put it all in to add adhesive to it, and then I added it to my hat. I'm going to try on the hat and see which side I like the feathers on best, and then we will come back and add the headband. I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and add this headband, or maybe just a plain black satin headband. Put in the comments which one would you like to see. Which headband would you prefer on this particular Fascinator? So what I did was I sewed on this round piece that was originally our coaster in 3 places. I tried on the hat to see how it would best look, and I sewed it in 3 places individually. I didn't connect it on the other side, so they each have their own stitch in 3 different places. And instead of having the feathers facing up, I put it on the mirror, and I like the way the feathers look facing down. They look better to me. Just added a nice little twist. One thing that I did notice is that in these folds, in the bends here, where it's cinched in, the rhinestone material does buckle a bit. You see that there? So what I'm gonna do is lift that up, use my glue gun, and reinforce that. And I know it's going on that last hem, so I'm just going to put that there. And that's really the only place where I noticed it buckled, which makes sense, right? In those curvatures, it needs reinforcement if it's not sewn on as a traditional trim. So I'm just going to lift up the other side and do the same. That's why most of these hats I do sell on my Etsy shop. When I'm selling them, I like to live with the hats first to see if anything buckles or lifts or whatever the case may be. I never make a hat and send it right out. I like to make sure it's quality control. I like to make sure the hat is going to endure and that, you know, my clients aren't going to have an issue with it when they receive it, or, you know, a month or two down the line after wearing it a few times. So if you're selling or gifting this hat, if it's not for yourself, just hold on to it for a bit and see how it lives and functions. So I'm just going to reinforce this with my pinching, and what I'm going to do is see how this looks and feels in a day or two. Okay, and what I did was I simulated a headband, but the headband, because the curvature is deep, it's almost like a bowl, this goes down too far in. Actually it goes down in further, so I feel like not enough headband would come down to really fit securely on the head. So what I'm going to do is add a Fascinator elastic band. Can you see that there? I'm just going to lay it here, and it has two metal ends that really anchor onto your hat. And usually I would say with your Fascinators and mini hats, they're usually shallow. They don't go as deep as this, so they can just kind of sit better on a shallow surface. But this hat is not shallow. It does have depth in it, and this almost fits like a cap. So I already tried on the hat, and it looks best in these two places here. So when you fit on a Fascinator, a Fascinator band, you have to make a hole in it before you put it in. And I'm gonna make a hole here with a pin. You can use any kind of thick pin for this. Then I'm gonna come to this side, follow this over, make sure my pins are about at the same place. This one went in a little bit easier. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, this whole side seems to be easier. Okay. I think I'm doing this right. Okay, yeah, I want to come down a little deeper. So you see how I'm underneath that section there? Yeah, because my Fascinator, when it connects, I need it to anchor to something. Okay, and these are on evenly on the opposite sides of each other. Okay, so now I'm gonna take one. I'm gonna take this side first, one end of the Fascinator band. Lift that out. I see where my hole is. We're gonna just follow that hole that I made. Is it there? You know what? Let's see. I'm gonna hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to that side. Let's see how this side will do. Remove that. I see my hole. Should be big enough. It's getting in a little bit. I tell you, I've done this on cinema material. It is easier on cinema. Okay, so it went through. Just pull that out of the other end. Let's go back to the other side. See if we can get that in on this side. Just making sure that hole is big enough. Okay, see where the hole is. Let's push it through. Okay, this feels a little bit easier than the first time. Okay, that came through there. Perfect. So then what you do is you just kind of lift it up, let it lock in place on its own. It creates its own anchor. You see there? Creates its own anchor. And you see how we had a time putting it on. It's not going to easily come off, trust me. These elastic bands are the best thing, and they don't get in the way of your hairstyling. You know, a band is usually more noticeable. So I do like to put it on the mannequin head when I showcase it, because then to see it on a face, it really does make a difference. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna stick a pin in this. Just don't want the feathers over her eyes. Let's see, because it's not meant to be over the eye, but okay. Very good. That's one side. This is the other. And then this is the Fascinator. Yeah. I'm going to pan out fuller screen so you can see the completed look. Okay, just to hold that Fascinator there. Okay, so let me lift this. Okay, thank you, camera, for not falling. Look at her, guys. What do you think? And she sparkles. The light is pretty bright, but with these rhinestones, she definitely sparkles with her trim. I like her. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.